The Pressures of Being a Leader. Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, Chapter 202. In this chapter, not a whole lot of plot progression, but a lot of, once again, a lot of character development, a lot of characterization. And yeah, some good action, no lie. We saw some good stuff. So, in this, look, let's just go into the chapter itself. In this chapter, we start off with Alibaba. He's doing kind of a Luffy thing, except Luffy don't usually be thinking like Alibaba thinks, you know what I'm saying? Alibaba does a lot of thinking. And in this chapter, I can very much relate to Alibaba in different ways. But, first and foremost, doubt of your ability, doubt of your purpose, also how to be a leader. He's a young man trying to figure out how to be a leader. He's like 18, 19 years old, okay? That's some, when you're thrown into different situations, even though he dealt with that situation in Balbadd, he's also returning to his hometown, trying to see if he can make an impact. So I can definitely relate to that as well. Anyways, so he's out on the Balbadd ship. It's 2 days into the journey to Balbadd, and Oba and Toto come to his sides, and I love that pick because it's like the two generals. Before I even got deep into the chapter, it's like it felt like the two generals, because if you watched my review last week, you will hopefully remember, or you can just go back, and I talked about, and even my thumbnail was talking about Alibaba and his household. Okay, so we knew that they would get some great progression, some more characterization with the household as it was, but I thought that would be more throughout the arc. But no, we get it already in this chapter. So in this chapter, we see definitely his two generals, Alba and Toto, come to his side, and like, yo, Alibaba, man, what's wrong, man? What's good? Dog, we just don't worry. Everything's chill, bro. Like, we still got a long ways to go. You don't have to look out at everything, just be cool, but also be vigilant, be alert, because pirates and whatnot could be surrounded. Then Alba's like, I probably shouldn't be saying that, but actually, even though we say, we shouldn't be saying that because of what we are, because they're former pirates, right? But who better to say it than someone who's been there? It's like a former addict. Who better to talk about addiction, once they've recovered, than an addict? It's like the credibility, right? Who better to talk about the military than someone who's really lived that life, or who's been in wars, militant or not, who's really fought, what I'm saying? A fighter. Who better to talk to? Y'all get the drift. An athlete, in whatever field of life experience. Who better to talk to than somebody who's been through the ringer, okay? And that's why he would also be aware of those kind of things. Moving on, Alibaba's like, nah, everything, nothing's bothering me. So, but it's obvious, he's wearing his, you could see outwardly that something was going on inside. And, if you would say psychologically the kind of temperament Alibaba is, out of the four temperaments that are commonly talked about, the choleric, the sanguine, the melancholy, and the phlegmatic, I would probably put Alibaba as a melancholy, okay? And with that being said, Alibaba goes on, and and I have to also say how the two generals, you see even more Gianos with the rest of them in the back. That was nice. We see Oba and Toto are talking, and they're like, Alibaba's probably, what's bothering him, what's on his mind, is probably what he hinted at last night. And then we see a flat, and we see Morgiana's face. She's down, she's obviously down. And that's the thing about Morgiana that I've noticed. Like, she normally keeps like a stoic kind of face, but when something really is bothering her, when something real emotional is happening, especially in terms of with Alibaba, she like her emotions are very visible. So I think that's a very good point of characterization for Morgiana. And we get the flashback of last night. Alibaba's out there, just doing his thing, and Morgiana comes up to him, and he's having an open, candid conversation with Morgiana, his thoughts, and he's like, I don't know if I have any more purpose. And he's like, returning to Balbadd, I don't know if I even should be saying this. I don't think I should have say in it because I was gone for 3 years. And it's like, if the people are happy, I'm good. If people like Kasim, his mother, and whatever are good and they're having plenty of food, who am I to intervene? Because he says some nations at war are sometimes better off than nations at peace. And he was throwing out a lot of factual stuff with his introspection, and it was some great dialogue. I thought it was great character development once again for Alibaba, and a bit more characterization on his part. And then he's like, at the crux of the matter, he's like, I want to be needed by my homeland, I don't know. And then he goes, I don't even know if I'm worthy or if there is any reason for me to have a metal vessel anymore. And I mean, from the outside looking in, because I've been in both positions, okay? From the outside looking in, it's like, yo, Alibaba, you don't get it. You don't get your potential. You don't get what you mean to the people. Morgiana, to Toto, to Oba, to your mentor, Shaw, y'all know the dude, the swordsman, to Aladdin especially. I mean, even the King of Simba, there's so many people, but you don't get it. You're a leader. But then again, I've been in that position and trying to become a leader, and not only that, just being a young man in this world, it's at times hard. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, philosophically, spiritually. There's a lot of stuff that goes on and a lot of doubt you have to overcome and whatnot when you're not sure about your path, when you don't see a purpose. Purpose is huge as a human, but especially for a man. A man needs a purpose. If a man doesn't have a purpose, then it's almost no reason for living. He needs a purpose. He needs a reason to live. He needs a meaning for his life. Okay? And Alibaba, he's maturing. And so, posted up, both his generals, I call them, obviously Morgiana's listening, but both his generals are silently posted up. Toto behind like a cabin wall, and Oba up and on the mast, and they're listening to this. And then we flash back to real time, and Morgiana, she's clearly distraught about this whole situation. And then we hear pirates are here, and then they're doing all the pirates are doing all that mad talk, give up, blah blah blah, or we'll have to wreck you and all that. You know how the old thing goes. And then we see Oba and his crew, his four. So I love how they did the four panel shots of Oba's, you could say subordinate, his homeboys, his brothers. I think they're all dudes, or is one a female? I'm not sure, but the Oba's followers, and he's like, they're like, yo, well, before I say that, I love the shots how with Sinbad's 8 generals, Jafar, Musrar, and all the rest. And also they did that, Shinobu Otaka did that back in the Magnostat War arc, when we saw the different faces of the different rulers and whatnot, of the Seven Seas Alliance. Yeah, I like that kind of thing, because for one, it does a focus perspective. It highlights that these aren't just some scrubs and fodder, as people like to call them. They're important, and this is highlighting, this is the potential. This is Alibaba's household. These are members, and they will play key roles later on in Alibaba's household. Even now, they're playing key roles. They're like, leave the fighting to us. And Oba, being a leader, he's speaking to some factual. He's like, yo, we were scum. Leave the scum to us, because we were like this, and we don't even deserve to live, but you gave us reason to live, Alibaba. And they're telling Alibaba this to get him to realize that the importance in Alibaba doesn't even think he's done anything, but Oba's like, no, bro, you don't understand. We've killed innocent folks, but you redeemed us. You gave us a second chance. You gave us a time to change our lives. You didn't think down upon us, so we're gonna pay you back, bro, by defending you and taking care of you. And dude, they put it. You're like, and they noticed that these pirates, they were just like us. They had water missiles too, the water guns. But they're like, yeah, we went up in your behind with our training that we've gotten. Yeah, water swords. Yo, the water swords. And I will also like to mention that I saw with Oba going back throughout the whole thing. He's got like on his, he holds. I don't know if he's lost a hand. I don't know if he or remember if he lost a hand or not. I don't know if that was shown earlier or if that's always how it's been. But where he has the water gun when he does the short. He also has a hook thing. So he's like having real pirate kind of thing going on there. So I thought it was cool in his character. And they're just going all. They just tearing up these pirates. These pirates ain't nothing for these guys. Nothing. These kids. That one dude even said, "Who are these? These children?" And these Oba and his boys just Oba and his men. Forget about it. I like them. They just. And then Toto gets in action. Key sword, boy. She's like, yo, it was the same thing. Piggybacking off of what Oba said. She's like, Alibaba. It was the same thing for them gladiators that you freed. When you feed like with the monkey ball, with the monkey, how Alibaba set it free once he defeated it. So that was some good stuff. So we see, they were about to do a kind of side by side combo attack, and lo and behold, Amon's before Alibaba could get into the fray, he sees, he's like, what? And we see a magic kind of circle at the bottom circle, that design within the circle. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, and then it goes into, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, this is cool. Oba's metal water missile hook, where he's hooked this type. Yeah, that thing. His gun, missile gun, whatever. Water missile gun. And Toto's sword, key sword. Yeah, they combined for a something Crimson Claw. It was like a Firebird attack because all of and they became household vessels. Cool, excellent to see. So that was some good. That was plot progression, definitely. But why the attack combined was that the pirates, I guess, were on different ships or on the same ship. I don't know, but they were spread out and they did this big old water, almost like this boulder thing, in the midair. And the seeming like household vessel Firebird attack went up in the air and just totally eradicated that and pretty much defeated the enemy one shot, no problem. And then moving on, we're saying everything's safe and fine. And Morgiana's like, I'm glad you got some friends, Alibaba. And I also saw in this episode, in this chapter, the necklace Alibaba had given her. And Alibaba's just kicked back and he's saying, yeah, man, I'm wondering how many household vessels Amon's Jinn can activate. And my question is Amon, however you say it, is he one of the most powerful Jinn? I wouldn't be surprised because he's really old. He is, and he's fire. Y'all know fire is very powerful in fiction and in reality as well. So I wonder if he can do more than 3. Who knows? But anyways, and I'm wondering, and I have been starting to think about it. Will Alibaba get multiple Jinn? Because Cohen has 3 and Sinbad has 7. I don't think Alibaba's gonna get 7, but 3 sounds reasonable. At least 2. I think he's at least getting another one. And of course, Ren Hakurita, we don't know what he's gonna do. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. Anyways, in this chapter, and Toto and Oba come out of they come in like, and Oba's like, Alibaba, we need to speak to you about something, and he's like, and I find it kind of cool, and he's like, when I saw this, I'm like, oh yeah, because Oba's like, when, when us two were talking, Oba and Toto, we realized that we have the same goal of protecting Aladdin, and that allowed us to get close. And Oba's like, I really like him. I mean, Toto's like, I really like him or love him. I think she said I love him, and she's like, he also smells like a monkey boss. I found that hilarious. There were some hilarious points in some very comedic, very funny points in this chapter, and and Alba's like, we want to say we're officially a couple, and that was like, yo, and everybody. I mean, I loved it, and then I stayed on the page. I was happy about that, and then turned there, everybody the four follows over where they're like kind of shocked, and then we see Alibaba's face, and I love what it kind of says. They kind of caption that the writer that Otaka wrote. It's like, can you put in 30 words or less the what Alibaba's thinking? Because his face, y'all remember that when he told Toto about he confessed the truth that he had lied about him and Toto being together, and I'm like, yeah, did Alibaba have feelings about Toto? I don't know. But I'm like, and I know Oba's his homeboy. I don't know why he would have a problem. I actually personally really like them being together, Oba and Toto. I really like it being together. It only strengthens and unifies Alibaba's household, and Toto. I'm loving Toto, man. She's my girl, dog. She's become quickly my girl, and so and that also definitely cements it, totally, we don't have to worry about Toto and Alibaba being together. You got Morgiana for those who love and care about all that. But I find it kind of cool, and it's making this arc very interesting. I have not a clue where this arc's gonna go. We know it's going to Balbadd, but what's gonna happen when we get there, I don't know. There's a lot of unknown for me, so I'm on the ride and journey with y'all. You unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts. Tell me y'all thoughts on on the action. I thought the action was excellent in this chapter. I really like the Oba and Toto union. You could say I really obviously like the introspection that Alibaba gave. I'm really loving how Morgiana, Oba, and Toto are now coming and supporting very specifically Alibaba, and Toto and Oba are kind of like Jafar and Musa, are kind of different but kind of similar to that. So I like that a lot. And what else? My overall rating of the chapter, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was outstanding. I was going to give it an 8 for being a great chapter, but that revelation that Toto and Oba are now together, I thought that was excellent and definitely worth a upgrade. So like I said, tell me y'all thoughts on the chapter, and have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Till next time, y'all. Peace.